Hello everyone, and welcome to Twin Flames Universe. We are Twin Flames Daniel and Cristina, and we are here today to talk to you about redefining yourself during your twin flame journey and ascension.
Yeah, so what does that really mean?
So for me, redefining yourself, what that means is during the ascension process, right, you go through many changes and many shifts. We've experienced many changes and many shifts on our journey. And it really means that it is a constant purification of your consciousness and your identity as a divine being.
Right.
And we just wanted to, speak to the importance of realizing what the twin flame ascension journey is and how it can benefit you to stay open to the evolution of your consciousness.
Yes. Yeah. So, this has been coming up a lot in the collective, like this idea of, your personality, how you identify yourself. Like, you might have this certain idea of who you are. Your environment shapes it, like your decisions shape it, all kinds of things form this opinion of yourself that is your personality. But this opinion of yourself is may or may not be based on truth, right? Like it's based on beliefs you held, things that you've experienced, all kinds of stuff, right? And it's important to recognize that at the core, you are love, right? And so your personality, like you might identify with like some certain aspect of your personality, but that might not be in alignment with your divine self necessarily. And you might find that as you go on your twin flame ascension journey, certain things like resonate less and less with you, or your opinion of it shifts, or the relationship that you have to it changes. And if you are unwilling to release attachment to whatever it is in your life that you think defines you, if you're unwilling to release that attachment, you're going to find yourself feeling really stuck on your journey.
Right, exactly. And, we're not saying that some of the things, like the things you like or the things you enjoy, maybe that is in alignment with your divine self and maybe they fit in perfectly. But we just speak from our own experience and we speak for ourselves in that, the ascension journey so far it's been big in our lives and many things have changed.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even consider myself the same person that I was, before the ascension journey and everything. There were a lot of things that I used to be into and a lot of things that I used to be attracted to or used to just enjoy doing that just kind of fell away naturally on their own.
Yeah.
And every day, as we ascend and continue to heal, new things change also. We find new things that we do enjoy and things that we attract and things we continue to let go of.
Yeah.
So, so it's important in this way to just allow yourself with compassion and love to just explore your consciousness as you heal and release the things that no longer feel good.
Yeah. And so if you can't define yourself by, your personality or what you perceive your personality to be, then what do you define yourself with? You
define yourself with love.
Exactly.
Right.
Like at your core, the only true definition of who you are is that you're a child of God. And anything that really stands in the way of you like really understanding this about yourself and believing it at the core needs to shift, right? Because you really need to be putting God first in everything that you do. Yeah,
I think an example like that I can give from my own life is that from a very young age I was very interested in art and creation and things like that, but and I worked into my adult life to being a designer and a creator. And through my ascension, I realized that there were things that no longer felt really comfortable about it or felt good about it. And I couldn't really put my finger down on it, on exactly what it was, but I realized that the original intention of me wanting to become an artist was because my older brothers were artists and I was jealous of the attention that they were getting. And, of course I've healed that, and it doesn't mean that I have to let art go, because of course a part of me has also grown to love art. It's something that is divine. Creation is divine, and creation is the expression of God, right? But what I did have to let go is who I thought I was in that creative space, right, and what role it necessarily had to play in my life. I always thought that maybe I wanted a career doing it or something, but now maybe it's just a hobby, or maybe it's just something I enjoy doing. It's still unfolding, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to speak to that, your interests and the things that you've spent time and years honing and developing. God was with you that whole time, right? God doesn't waste anything, right? And even if you weren't consciously creating with God when you made those choices, you still will ultimately play into God's hand in that way, right?
Exactly.
But it's really important to, that said, it's really important to, recognize that God has a purpose for everything that you like.
Right.
Everything that you enjoy that lights up, that lights your heart up. God has a purpose for it, but it has to be done in God's way. And right. So holding intense attachment to it has to be this way that I do it. That actually leaks your energy to expressing yourself in the way that God invites you to express yourself.
Right, exactly. And the reason why this is important is because, when you hold on to attachments of no, it's got to be this way, it's got to be my way, you may, at that point in time where you are, you may think that that's the best thing for you. But you have to realize, that God knows better.
Yeah.
Right? God is God. And God knows what's best for you. And He's not, asking you to, change. He's just doing things in the way that are most compassionate for you.
Right.
And allow you to become the best version of you. They're the most compassionate thing. And in God's timing, those things will be, revealed. Right.
Right. So how does this relate to your twin flame?
So I think it's the same thing where as you learn, as you grow, as you heal, you ascend, right? And so does your twin flame.
Right.
So if you're leaking your energy by holding on to these things that don't necessarily serve you or don't really align to God's vision for you, then that also is a repelling mechanism with your twin flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you are defining yourself by a certain set of criteria, your own personal personality that you've created in your mind, of a definition of who you are, you might not see yourself clearly. And so you might not see your twin flame clearly, right? If you don't recognize who you really are, if you don't make the choice to really get to know yourself through God's eyes,
right?
How can you see your twin flame?
Yes, exactly. That's
right?
Beautiful. Yeah. So, I guess long story short, the point we're trying to make here is to be open to exploring who you are through the eyes of love. You may be surprised. Maybe you will experience new things. You will find new things in God, right? That you just absolutely enjoy and light you up inside and fill you with life. Right.
Because ultimately, you are love at the core, and the thing that fills you up the most is giving and sharing love. And God knows the way in which, the way that's best for you to give and receive love in every moment, and that's always going to be growing and expanding. And another thing I wanted to touch on is that your ascension journey is one of constant expansion. And so if you're not willing to constantly expand and constantly grow and change and adapt to like the direction that God is guiding you, you're going to find that your twin flame journey stagnates, right? And like, yeah, it's a journey of constantly increasing your vibration in a steady and peaceful way, right? I always like to say that it's better to build a platform that raises instead of like climbing a ladder that can fall, right? You know, you want to steadily increase your vibration from a really sustainable place, so that it's permanent instead of like reaching out, right? And then like unbalancing yourself.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is, like you have to be willing to expand and shift and redefine yourself by love's standards, rather than by who you believe yourself to be. Because, you know, that is the whole purpose of the journey, is to learn who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. I know I want to learn who I am.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Do you feel complete then?
I do. Yeah.
Good. Well, we thank you very much for, watching this video. We enjoyed presenting it. And again, we are Twin Flames, Daniel and Cristina. We are Ascension coaches as well. And if you're interested in working with us, check out the links below to our services. And as always, thank you very much for watching these videos, and we'll see you next time. Take care.